So how's it going, everybody? This is Maxwell McGee. Today I'm joined by Kevin Van Ord, and earlier today I got to go see The Witcher 2 on the Xbox 360. Kevin, I know you were a big fan of The Witcher 2 that came out last year.
Huge fan of Witcher 2. I'm anxious to see what they're doing on 360. Can you kind of run down some of the changes that we're going to see on the platform?
I've got a short list of changes here that I wanted to talk you guys through. The first thing they showed off was a new CG introduction trailer that shows the assassination of King Denovan at the hands of the Kingslayer, which is something they referred to towards the beginning of the game. It was really well done, very exciting. There was a boat and a party and a snap freeze and a sword fight, everything you want out of a Witcher 2 introduction.
I was going to ask, based on what you saw, do you think it did a pretty good job? Console players may not have played The Witcher 1. Do you think that does a pretty good job of getting people up to date?
That's a good point. So a lot of since The Witcher 2 came out, they've added in a lot of additional content on the PC version. Obviously, they have there's like an arena battle mode, there's a new tutorial mission that you can go through. And there's sort of some videos that'll recap like what The Witcher's all about, what Witchers are, sort of an introduction to the world. All those elements are in this 360 version. They're worked into it. So when you first load up the game, it'll prompt you if you want to go through the tutorial. And if you go down to the extras menu, it's got a little, I think there are two different movies. There's one that sets up like what Witchers are and it sets up the world. And then there's a second movie that'll tell you about the events in the first game. That'll bring you up to speed. So besides the new CG introduction movie, there are also 2 new quest lines, which the developers estimate will take players about 4 hours to get through. They take place around the 3rd act of the game, and I got to play about a half hour of one of them. It had to do with when you're investigating the abduction of King Foltest's bastard children. There was an interesting little puzzle in that mission where you found a letter from Baron Kimbolt. You had to figure out if it was a fake or not, because he might have had something to do with the abduction, not really sure. So you had to go in, you had to steal some notes from his scribe. The scribe might have been a little tipsy when he wrote them, so they were a little convoluted. You had to figure out, basically, how to concoct this potion that you could pour over the letter to see if it was a forgery or not. So that was pretty interesting. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about how it played on the controller. Now, did the PC version have regular controller support? I've always just used mouse and keyboard.
The PC version did support controller. There was a little bit of iffy controller support at launch.
Okay.
How does it feel?
Yeah, in the 360 version, it played really well. They talked a lot about some changes they made to the camera, just to make it smarter, as they say. I didn't notice any, but I guess that's a good thing because you don't want to notice anything with the camera. You just want it to work. The way it's laid out, I can show you on the controller here. X and Y are your attacks, and then I wanted X and Y to be the attacks. I'll get to that in a second. X and A are your attacks, and then B is dodge, and Y is for your spells. And then you've got your menus. Your various menus are on your triggers, and doing things with your sword is on the D-pad. Anyway, it worked fairly well. Again, I wanted X and Y to be attack instead, but there's no way to remap the controls at this point, which is a little disappointing. The way that lock-on is handled is also a little bit different. Now you just press and hold, I believe it was the left trigger, and you'll target that enemy, and you'll target them as long as you keep the trigger depressed, instead of like in the PC version you sort of toggled your lock-ons, and then you block with the other trigger. Yeah, it worked fairly well.
So how about you were telling me a little earlier about taking potions and how that's a little different?
Yeah, so they streamlined the potion and sort of meditation state a little bit. Instead of like clicking on meditation, having Geralt kneel down, and then clicking through like the potions menu or whatever else, you go to meditation. That just pulls up its own standalone menu. You don't crouch down, and then drinking potions is just a menu click now. Because I know. Like for me, it was kind of neat when you see Geralt take the potion. He kind of like takes a deep breath, like wipes his brow, and you realize like, oh man, even like taking potions is kind of a big deal in this game. But after like the 20th or 30th time you've seen that, it gets a little redundant. So yeah, now it's just super quick and easy.
So how about I'm curious about the visuals. Obviously the game looks phenomenal on PC. How is it looking on console?
So on console, obviously, since it's the 360 and the hardware isn't quite on par with the higher end PCs nowadays. It doesn't look quite as good, but it still looks very beautiful, I gotta say. The only things that I kind of noticed were there's a little bit of texture pop in, and then the lighting effects, which is something I was really impressed with on the PC version, just aren't as pronounced in the 360 version. So you don't have all of the rays cutting in through the trees and everything. Everything's just a little more flatly lit, we'll say. But again, it still looks really nice. Besides that, the ending snippets. So there's a little addition to the ending apparently, where they have little snippets that'll recount the different decisions you made throughout the game, and sort of give you a summary of what your Geralt has done. I sort of liken it to the ending for Heavy Rain, where it just sort of like, it's just little pieces showing what you've done throughout the course of the game.
Or maybe something like Fallout that kind of gives you a recap.
Like in Fallout as well. Something that I saw on the information sheet they gave us afterwards that I wish I had known about was the new difficulty mode. There's a dark mode difficulty, which The Witcher 2 is already an extremely punishing game. I don't know why they need this or how they could possibly make it more difficult, because I think in the last one it went up to like it's insane or whatever, and if you died you couldn't reload any saves or anything, so I don't know how dark mode is going to, I guess maybe one hit death is pretty much all they've got left to do. We'll see. So there's a new difficulty as well. And then finally the game is coming out in spring of 2012, obviously on the 360.
Excellent. And of course you badgered them about a PlayStation 3 version.
I asked about a PlayStation 3 version, and basically they just said one thing at a time. So they're going to try to get this done. They're not against the idea, but they're not focusing on it right now. And then, and another thing, all of the changes that are coming, they're calling this Witcher 2 Enhanced version, I believe. So all of the changes and upgrades that are going to be in the 360 version will also be applied to the PC version at or around the launch date.
And that goes vice versa. All the things that have been released on PC up to this point are going to be in the 360 version.
Yeah, are in the 360 version now. So
excellent.
It's all good to go.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.